My guest today is Albert L. Ickey Woods, whose career in the NFL was 4 years, but I got to tell you guys, Ickey left an indelible mark on the game with his style, his dance. Well, we all know about the shuffle. We'll get to that. But his running style, man, he ran hard. He ran for a lot of yards. You average him up, man. Ickey, you ran for average 5 yards every carry, man. That's that's a first down. That's half a first down right there.
Oh yeah, man. To give me the ball twice, we got a first down, baby. You know that's what it's about.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Let me start off by saying, are you getting your cold cuts, baby? Are you getting it?
Yeah, as of late, Lord, I've been getting my cold cuts, man. That honey baked ham, bro, is real good.
Hey, man, that was one of the funniest. What I thought was really interesting, Ickey, was you and I saw each other in LA for the Super Bowl. Of course, the Bengals and the Rams squared off, and
right.
Your team fell a little short for some reasons that we can talk about.
Yeah,
and I'm sure you will lend a little clarity on. But what I thought was real interesting was during the season, you had Uzomah. He caught a touchdown in Cincy's wild card weekend over Vegas. Man, he started a little tribute to you with the Ickey Shuffle. He kept it simple.
Oh yeah.
Were you at that game? Were you at that game?
I was at the game, man. It was fun to see, man. I was sitting around a few people and we were just having fun, and when he scored, he did my shuffle, and everybody like, "Oh, he doing your dance! He doing your dance!" I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good guy." He made a nice tribute to me, so I loved it.
Man. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, Ickey.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And then so Burrow in Kansas City after winning the game, you come up. He's doing a little post-game interview. He spots you or you spot him. I don't know. There's a hug. And then he goes into a little mini shuffle, you know?
Yeah, that was great, Mort. I just happened to be coming off the stage and I looked over and seen him, and I didn't know he was right in the middle of doing an interview, and I just, "Hey Joe, what's up? Ickey Woods, man, just want to say great game." Turned around, gave me a big hug, man. Then he did a little reminiscence of the shuffle, man, and it was great, man. It was great, Mort. Those guys pay tribute to us older guys, man. Guys who paved the way for them.
I had Anthony Muñoz on earlier this year. I think the Bengals were around 500 at the time, and you know what he said to me? He was very confident in this team's ability to make a run in the postseason if they were able to get there. And then we fast forwarded a few months, and the Bengals were AFC champions. Did you see this run coming as well, or was Anthony by himself in this one?
Well, no, I knew they could have a good run, more, but I didn't think they were going to have a Super Bowl run. I thought we were maybe a year or two away from a Super Bowl run because of the offensive line, but we happened to get there this year in spite of the offensive line. Joe Burrow was able to hang in there and make some great plays and get us to the Super Bowl, man. But I knew going into the Rams game, because how good their defensive line was, if our offensive line didn't block in the most pivotal moments, that it was going to be tough on us, and that's what happened. It came down to a 3rd and 1. And I don't understand why Joe Mixon's not in the game on a 3rd and 1, and you got the game on the line. That's something I would never understand. But P. Ryan gets the ball, and as you said, that guard got jammed back into the backfield, and stopped him, a couple of inches short, and then on a 4th and inches, we try to throw the ball, man. I couldn't understand that, more, but that's the name of the game, So I thought Joe Burrow was going to try to run for it and get the first down, but He didn't have time, and on that play down the field a little ways, our boy Lamar Chase had Ramsey beat. Ramsey fell down, and Chase had him beat, but Burrows didn't have time to complete the ball.
Ickey, as an elite running back, when you look at, and you mentioned Joe Mixon, I want to get your thoughts on him a little bit. In a game today, the modern game, that less and less features that running back, right? I think we can agree on that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's still a couple of elite backs. I put Mixon up there. Where do you put him, and how has he been able to stand out in the league that has less and less of that star running back that they're featuring across the board? What is it that makes him special?
He's Mixon can not only can he run the ball, he can also catch the ball out the backfield, catch screens and things of that nature. And when he does get in the open field, man, he's a hard guy to bring down. So with that combination of being hard to bring down and can catch the ball out the backfield, that's a great combination. And he's been doing a wonderful job of that the last 5 years. He's been with us, man, and I think every year he gets better and better. And I think as our offensive line gets better, it helps him as well. Having a decent offensive line, as you know, more helps everybody.
Yeah, it gives you a quarterback, and you clearly have one in Burrow. I mean, you got your future right there. And then let's not forget about Ja'Marr Chase. Now, his rookie season was phenomenal. The poise and the production he had. How fun was it as an offensive guy, and you've been on them. You've been on the teams in the 80s. You guys had some studs.
Yeah,
what about a receiver like Chase?
It was great to see, man. And my whole thing is, in order for us to win the AFC North, we have to beat Pittsburgh twice. Yep. And they were able to do that more. They were able to take Pittsburgh down twice, and they was also able to take Baltimore down twice.
Yep.
And then we lose the first game to Cleveland, which they played like they never played football before in that game. Got down early and couldn't really back in. And then the last game, we were resting a lot of the starters trying to get ready for the playoffs. So, we didn't have, half of the team didn't play. So, which was understandable. We were getting ready for our playoff run. And so they ended up beating us twice. But we had already clinched the AFC North division. So there was no need for us to play our starting guys. So I got a chance to give our second and third teamers some reps, getting ready to go into the playoffs, and that was good for us. But man, I tell you, I'm looking forward to next year. I think we'll do a lot better than we did this year, because in my strong belief, we're going to go out and get maybe 2 to 3 veteran offensive linemen in this offseason, and then probably take a couple of them in the draft as well. So hopefully they do that. We probably can use another linebacker and maybe another defensive lineman, but because I think Ogunjobi broke his foot, so we're gonna need somebody to take his place, and then we got to sign I think it's Price, the D lineman we got to sign him, get him signed. I think he's going to be a free agent this coming year.
So I think if I'm looking from the outside in and I'm looking at the Bengals, man, that's a lot of room for optimism. If you get some of those spots shored up that you just mentioned, then now you got something special. And I think it's a 3-horse race, man, in the AFC. I think it's Kansas City, Buffalo, and Cincinnati. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. I agree. We can't leave Baltimore out either. They got a pretty decent, team down there. But you're right, Morten. It's going to be that big three, man. It's going to be us, Buffalo, and Kansas City probably for the next 10 years. One of us is going to be right there in the mix to win the AFC Championship. So
I feel like it's so important to have that home field advantage. You know, I'll give you the example of Buffalo having to go to Kansas City versus KC having to go there.
Right.
Cincinnati had one at home against the Raiders, but now you had to go to Tennessee. You got it done, but it's harder in the playoffs on the road. So how close would you say Cincinnati is to clinching? I know we're just playing what ifs here, but that's always fun. How close are we to clinching home field advantage throughout and be the team that the Super Bowl goes through Cincinnati?
Lord, I think that's we're as soon as next year we can get the offensive linemen in place.
Right.
You know, because I think we got everything else pretty much covered, but we need to get the offensive line, man. That's what hurt us this year. They had a couple of games, like the Tennessee game, where we had 9 sacks in that game, and still, end up winning that game. There's very, very few times that a team gets 9 sacks and lose the game. So we were very fortunate in that game to come away with the victory. So I'm feeling good. And like I said, this offseason, I think we'll sign 2 bona fide offensive veterans that's, maybe got 5 to 6 years in the league and are proven studs that we can bring in, because we definitely got the room to do it. We definitely got the room to bring them in because we got the space with the salary cap. I think we're like the 3rd team who has the most salary cap money. So we got the money to get them in here.
Yeah, that's a nice spot to be in.
Yeah, no doubt.
I got to talk to you a little bit about the Ickey Shuffle. I know you talk about it all the time, okay? But, it's wonderful. But here's the thing I want our listeners to understand. The Ickey Shuffle does not happen unless you put the ball in the end zone.
True.
Unless you're a productive back and you're on a team, which in 1988, you guys were 12-4, and you were one of the best all-time teams to not win the Super Bowl.
Right.
I mean, you had over 1,000 yards rushing, 15 touchdowns, and like I mentioned at the open, averaged over 5 yards a carry. Yeah. So talk to me about the 88 season for that group, because next 3 years you're 8-8, 9-7, 3-13. But why was 88 different? I mean, you're coming from UNLV.
88 was different because we had a great group of guys who we came together in training camp. And a unique thing that Sam Wyche did is he in training camp he roomed an offensive player with a defensive player, a white player with a black player, and so we got to know each other. We got to know each other's families and things like that, man. So we were a real close-knit team.
I like that.
Yeah, which this team was this past year. They were real close-knit as well. And so that helps you when you're a close-knit team, because your whole being is you don't want to let your guys down. You want to do everything you can to keep this thing going, because we're dependent on each other, and we don't even worry about what's going on outside the locker room, because we are a close-knit bunch in that locker room, and we play for each other. And then the following year, they started playing B free agency, and we lost Max Montoya, and that was the start of the unraveling of, and then I get hurt the second game of the year against Pittsburgh, so they lose me for the year, and so things just went downhill from there.
But I want to talk about 88 a little bit more. You had Boomer Esiason as your quarterback, and he was named the NFL MVP in a league that now included the prime version of Elway, Marino, Kelly, Montana. Why was Boomer able to rise above all those legendary players? Because he did.
Yeah, he did, because we had receivers like Eddie Brown and Tim McGee and Rodney Holman catching the ball and JB coming out the backfield. And,
was Cris still there? Collinsworth, was he still there?
Collinsworth was still there. Yes, Cris was still there.
Yeah.
And then, and so we had in our play action, we ran the ball real well. So our play action pass was off the chain. The teams were so afraid of us running the ball on them because we were the number one rushing offense in the league as well. So they were scared of us running the ball. So that helped Boomer in his play action pass. He was so sweet with it that that they didn't even realize he had the ball until it was too late.
Yeah. I thought it was fun to watch, and I thought you guys, you played the Niners tough. I play here and there, but could have easily. Is that was 88 when the dance started? Because I know I saw a video where you kind of said, I got to come up with something, and then you, I guess.
Yeah, it started in 88, the rookie season. I did a little dance. I did the first shuffle against the Cleveland Browns. And then when
people went nuts. Did people go nuts on it?
No, they didn't go nuts on it the first time I did it because I just kind of jumped in the air and moved my hands back and forth. And then after the game, Ricky Dixon asked me, Woods, what was that? I told him, man, that was my celebration dance. He was like, man, that SHIT was whack. I was like, that wasn't whack, Rick. That was my dance. He said, man, I said, so what you think I ought to do, Rick? You think I ought to put some steps to it? He was like, yeah. So the next week I thought, what could I do? What could I do? And 5 minutes before it was time to go out and play the Jets, it just hit me more. And I said, Rick, check this out. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3 back to the right, and I'm going to hop back 3 times and spike the ball. So I showed him that. He was like, oh, yeah, man, that's going to be live. That's going to be live. But I tell everybody I was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time. We were winning ball games. We made it to the Super Bowl, and it caught on. So I was fortunate.
Yeah, and you know what? You had an incredible, productive 4-year career for the Bengals. It was just unfortunate. It got cut short by injury. 89, you left ACL. 91, right knee in the preseason. You're 20, and you're 26 years old. How difficult was that for you to realize, to call it a career, knowing how dominant you really had been for 4 years?
Yeah, it was hard, Mort. It was hard. All players go through it where, you still think you can play the game, but your body lets you know that you can't. And so I had to, I had to deal with it. I had to make sure that, I did whatever it took to put food on the table and clothes on my kids' back. So I went door to door, selling meat, and I did a bunch of odd jobs, whatever it took to put food on the table and clothes on my baby's backs.
You had a flooring company, I read, as well. And one of the more interesting endeavors that you were part of, or still are, I guess, you're the longtime owner of the Cincinnati Sizzle. Is that still going?
Yeah, it's still going, but I don't own the team no more. I kind of gave it up about 8 years ago after my son passed away. So I've been working his foundation full time, and I couldn't devote the time that was needed to run that the women's football. But it made for some good football. More, I did it 11 years, man, and I enjoyed my time doing it. And, got to see some real talented women who could play the game. They probably couldn't play it on the same level as a man, but when you got women playing against women, it makes for a good game.
How did that opportunity present itself to you, and why do you think it hasn't really taken off, big time?
Probably because they don't have the support of the NFL like the WNBA does. If they had the support of the NFL, I think the people who started the league kind of rubbed the NFL the wrong way because when they first started the league, they call it the WNFL without getting clearance from the
Oh, gotcha.
NFL. So
Yeah, I
so
don't like
that was a no right there. So
that. Yeah.
so the NFL has never really backed them. So that's probably one of the main reasons that it has not taken off.
Do you think there's a path back for that league if with that women's football allowance? I mean, I think it's a layup to just open up a market that is worldwide. I mean,
I do too, but they have to go through the right channels, and and like I said, if they could get a little backing from the NFL, it would probably take it over the top. They could play in a season when the NFL doesn't play. So but just like the WNBA, they play after the NBA season, and the women could and they normally play from April to June anyway.
yeah.
So they play in the off season as well. So it makes for a good game if they had the right backing.
Ickey, talk to me about your foundation. I know I read that your son passed away tragically from an asthma attack, and I know that you're heavily involved with that cause and trying to prevent that from happening to any other children, right?
Yeah, Mort. It's been a good battle that we've been into. It's been hard for us the last couple of years, as it's been for everybody with the COVID and the no social gatherings, because that's basically how we did our fundraising, is through social gatherings. So it's been
Yes.
rough for us. We've had a rough couple of months here, but I mean a rough couple of years here. But it's starting to get better and pick up a little bit. We're starting to try to get back out and do some fundraising. So we will be doing our golf outing in May the 2nd.
Okay.
In Cincinnati, we'll do our golf outing, and that'll help us out quite a bit. So we're just trying to.
Let me help you out. Let me help you out on that and sponsor a team. I don't know if I'll come, but maybe you can fill the team with some local kids. And
that sounds good.
And then I want to tell our listeners where they can reach out and support you. Do you have a website up and running for that?
It's called the Jovante, and that's spelled Jovante Woods Foundation.org is our website. You can go on our website and make a donation.
Jovante Woods Foundation.org.
Foundation.org. Yes, you can go on our website and make a donation, or you can get signed up for the golf outing. We'll have that on the website beginning of February. So we'll start putting that and getting that ready for everything. So it's been it's been a tough few years, more, but it's been a good few years. We've been able to do some things, and been able to settle down and figure out what direction we're going to go in, and hit this thing full speed. So these next couple of months, and with the Bengals making it to the Super Bowl, man, that's really helped. That's really helped me a lot, because it's gotten me back out there into the light. Now I can shed light on the deadly disease called asthma. But we lost him 10 years ago, and the reason I started the foundation is because when I lost him, I started doing some research on asthma, and come to find out asthma is the fastest growing disease in America, but it's the least amount of money spent on finding a cure or finding a better way to treat it. And then another aspect of it is, since 1988, asthma has risen 80% in the kids from the age being born to the age 19. And then a real alarming statistic that just blew me out the water is that 11 people a day die from asthma.
Oh, man.
And so I was like, well, we got to start doing something to make this, make people aware, educate people, and hopefully can find a better way to treat it. If not find a better way to treat it, hopefully we can educate people where they can help and
Manage
just
it.
in case they get themselves in a situation that they'll know what to do
Yeah.
when an attack happens.
They need to manage it and not
Yeah,
panic and have have the tools at the ready to be able to deal with it so it doesn't become a catastrophic event.
right,
You
right,
know.
no doubt.
Well, you've always
Well,
been a positive guy, Ickey, and I know if anybody can do it, you can do it. We'll help you as much as we can. We'll push it out there, and we'll put the text up as well and the website.
okay.
I know Tom is going to be on that for us, and hopefully that'll help a little bit.
Well, thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that.
We always, hey, we're a village, we're brothers forever. You know, once a brother, always a brother in the NFL. You know that. So
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
we've got a little bit of history together. You know, I came in '82, and you came in the '80s, and I don't remember if you and I actually ever played against each other, Ickey. Maybe in the late '80s.
Yeah, I think in the late '80s. I think you
I
was with
remember
the.
that stadium, man, in
Were,
Cincinnati.
were you with the Saints in the late '80s?
Yeah.
Yeah. We played against each other. We played the Saints in the late '80s. So yeah.
So we probably had whether it was in Cincinnati, that was a rough field, man, with the AstroTurf.
Oh yeah, that was a rough field there. But I think we played at you guys' place because I remember
Superdome,
Mills
yeah.
and Swillis and I remember them linebackers Jackson and
The Dome Patrol. Remember putting
yeah.
their head across your bow, man?
Oh yeah, man. I remember the linebackers more. I remember them more than I remember anybody.
Because you met them in the gap.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That game is a mess talking game. So we was talking a bunch of mess to each other.
Well, do you have any examples of anything that came across your lips that you can share with our listeners?
Well, more, we can't. We can't reveal all that more because it wasn't nothing nice, brother. It wasn't nothing
nice. Hey, when we talk about the Hall of Fame and the Bengals, I mean, Anthony Muñoz is really the only true Bengal in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Who do you think will be the next Bengal to join again? Is it Geno Atkins, Boomer Esiason, Ken Andersen? Where
well, yeah, I thought it would be Ken Andersen. I thought he would have been already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Him or Ken Riley was a great one, man. But there's probably about 5 or 6 guys that should be in the Hall that's not, and and I kind of think that's has a lot to do with the Bengal organization too, because they should be out pumping these guys and trying to get these guys in the Hall, by doing certain things to alert the media to give these guys a shot, man. You got to promote your guys, and there's some guys that need to be in there that's not in there.
I would say the more you guys win and you're in the playoffs and you go deep, and the more Super Bowls the Bengals are in, it's just going to draw more and more attention, not only to the players on today's roster, but the ones, the legends of the game.
The legends of the game, yes, no doubt, no doubt.
So I definitely think that. Ickey, you had a legendary college career at UNLV. You led the nation in rushing your senior year in '87. And you also inducted into the UNLV Athletics Hall of Fame in 98. You know a couple of things about playing football in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Were you happy to see the city and the community finally get an NFL team? Because it seems to me like it'd be, the stigma of Vegas, and man, it's a distraction for the players.
Right.
What advice would you give any player who's about to embark on a football carear in Vegas? It's whether it's college or pro.
If they're college players, I'll tell them to stay out of casinos. Don't you can't gamble and live there. So don't try that. Because that's not going to do nothing but hurt you. So, but I'm happy they got a team. Vegas is a great city. Loved my time in Vegas. I'm actually going to start, going back to Vegas and doing some work with the foundation back there as well. It's a wonderful thing that the football program at UNLV gets to play in Reliance Stadium. So that's going to bring a lot of top-notch recruits to Vegas because you get to play in a professional stadium your college career. So that's
Yeah.
gonna help the university as well. Looking forward to going back there and getting involved in a few things in the community in Las Vegas as well.
Yeah, it's a wild place. I can take Vegas for a night or two, and then I gotta get out.
Yeah, more.
But there's a lot of beauty. There's a lot of beauty there.
It
Sure.
is. It's a tourist town, Mort.
It is.
It's a town that you go in for a couple of days and have fun, Sin City, and then get out of there.
Yeah.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's probably a good thing. Hey, Ickey, before I let you go, I got a little name game for you.
All right.
I'm going to give you a name. You're going to know all of these guys. And whatever comes to mind, it can be a word, it could be a phrase, or whatever strikes you as compelling when I ask you about these guys.
Okay.
So are you up for that little fun?
I'm great. I'm great, brother.
How about your college teammate, Randall Cunningham?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable player. Great guy. He was just, he was one of those players that you see and you say, oh my God, is this guy for real?
He was. I remember Randall Cunningham, who was playing with Philly, kicked a 90-yard punt.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Remember that?
Yeah. He was an All-American punter in college and an All-American quarterback. So he had all the accolades, I tell you.
Yeah, he was amazing. Anthony Muñoz.
Greatest offensive tackle that ever played the game. Even a more humble and great man.
Wow. Those are big words, Ickey.
Yes, sir.
Well, I concur. And I know there's a couple of guys out there that are right there, but he is a man. He's a great man. You're right. I've spent some time with Anthony. He is top shelf, man, on and off the field. You're right about that. Boomer Esiason. We touched on Boomer Esiason, but just as if you can cliff note it for me on Boomer Esiason.
Boomer Esiason, great leader. Also a great family man. Does any and everything for his son Gunner, and I'm so happy for that situation. And I think Gunner had just had a baby, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm really proud about that. Yeah, I seen Boomer's a grandfather, so that's a good thing.
Hey man, that means time is moving, and
it means time is moving, brother,
and we're moving with it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Paul Brown,
great owner. Football historian, new football talent. He could pick talent from out of anywhere. So he's a great football man.
Cris Collinsworth.
Cris Collinsworth, great teammate. He's quiet off the field, but he was lightning on the field, and he's an all around great teammate.
Sam Wyche.
We used to call him Wicky Wacky Sam, man. Sam, he used to come in 1 minute, he's your friend. The next minute, it seemed like he had a fight with the wife, man. But he was a great coach. He's a real innovative coach. Him and Bruce Coslett created that no-huddle offense that we ran when we did it. And then Marv Levy complained about it in the AFC Championship and then used it the next 4 years to go to the Super Bowl.
You know how that works. Everybody steals everything from everybody if it works. Copycat lead, baby.
If it works, you're right.
Oh, my goodness. That's funny, man. Solomon Wilcots.
Man, I can't say enough about Solly, man. He's not only a great guy, he's one of my best friends, man, a mentor. When I came in the league, him and Eric Thomas took me under their wings, man, showed me the ropes, and to this day, still a great friend of mine.
James Brooks.
James Brooks, my running back partner, man. He was tough as nails, and for his size, man, he's one of the toughest guys I knew, and he helped me along the way to develop, man. So I owe a lot of my early success in my career to James Brooks, man, and he's a great guy.
Eddie Brown.
Steady Eddie Brown, man. That guy was a phenomenal talent, from Miami, and also a great teammate, man. Like I said, that year that I came in, man, we got to really know each other, not only as football player, but as men and as teammates. And so all these guys you're naming as my teammates, man, are all great guys, great family men now, and wouldn't change it for the world, more.
Max Montoya.
Another great offensive lineman that I ran behind, man, and just opened up holes for me, and just a great all-around athlete.
David Fulcher.
Faux Rock. They used to call him Rock. He was a great teammate, man, but he had a little character flaw, man. He was I don't know how to put it. He was kind of soft, man. He's tough on the field, but he was kind of soft off the field. And the reason I say that is because one day we were in our team meeting, and this is right after my knee injury. I'm hurt, so I'm really not playing. So we're in the meeting room, and they're getting ready to go out to L.A. And so me and Solomon was talking, and Sam was trying to get the meeting started, and he just said, "Ickey, shut up." And, I looked up at him, and I said, "Okay, I was talking, so I deserve that." So I be quiet, and so I was quiet more, and then he said, "Well, that's, when we get ready to go out to L.A., I don't need none of you guys getting out there and getting into trouble and doing things you're not supposed to do." And so David Fulcher's sitting behind me, so he mutters out Barney Bussey's name, like Barney. And so I turned around to see who said it, because I didn't know who said it. And he was like, "Ickey, didn't I tell you to shut up?" I was like, "Whoa, Coach." I said, "Coach, that wasn't me. He said, "That's what I say about you IR player." Oh, he went in on me more. I mean, he was drilling me more. And I'm like, Coach, that was not me." And he was like, "If you don't like it, you can get your ass and get up out of here, more." So I chapped Solomon like, man, let me get out of here, man, because I didn't do it. And so I get up to get out, and he was like, "Good, get out of here. You don't play on Sundays, no way." And more, I had a few choice words for him, man, that I gave him, and I said, "Man, fuck you, Holmes," and I kind of just walked out. But my reason to say that,
Dave was the impetus.
Hey, man, my reason to say that is David Fulcher was an all-pro safety. Now, David Fulcher, no, I didn't say that, but he sat up there more and let Sam.
He didn't have your back. He didn't have your back.
And all he had to do more was say, "Sorry, Coach, that was me." That's all he had to do. He said, "Sorry, Coach, that was me."
Oh.
And everything would have been squashed.
Oh,
he let me take all that heat and all that mouth from Sam, man, and did not say not one word. And
I can't wait.
That kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
I can't wait to see David Fulcher at the Walter Camp Football Foundation. He goes to that every year.
We're gonna talk about that.
Oh, he's about to come up. He's about to
all he had to do was say,
let me.
"Sorry,
hey,
Coach, that was me," and everything would have been squashed.
All right, just between you and me, Ickey, and our thousands of listeners, let me start it with David when we see.
Okay.
Three of us are going to be together. Just follow the lead on that.
Okay,
You just come in at the end and drop it. Just trust me. Let me set this thing up. with Dave.
All right, no problem. I got you.
Because you just gave me beautiful backstory on that, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt.
Oh gosh. All right.
No
last name, and then I have a question from a listener. So the last guy I'm going to give you is Dick LeBeau.
Hey man, a great defensive mind. You know, he wasn't my coach, but every week he would come to me and say little things to me like, keep it up, big fella. Love the way you run the ball. You helping my defense get some rest.
Yeah.
And he used to always say, you remind me of a big guy who used to play in Cleveland named Jim Brown, man. Keep up your good work. And that just, you know, that kind of helped me, just fueled me, you know.
That lifted you up, man. That lifted you up.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man. I was just, I was so, you know, just every week, man, he would make it a point to just come over and say a little something to me, man, just to, you know, give my spirits up. So I love Dick LeBeau.
All right, let's close it out with a listener question from Eric on Twitter. How many times a day does someone ask Ickey to do the shuffle?
Well, if I'm at home, 0. But if I'm out, whenever I go out, somebody asks me to do the shuffle, or they make a reference to the shuffle.
Well, you did it beautifully, but you did it because you earned it. You got in the end zone. You can't do a shuffle or any celebration unless you're balling. And you balled, brother. You balled.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mort. I thank you. You balled too, my friend. I appreciate everything, and I appreciate you bring me on your podcast, giving me a chance to talk about my baby's foundation. I appreciate that. Much love and respect.
Much love to you, and all the best. I'll see you down the road.
Okay, brother. Sounds good.